Hello, welcome to IT Career Tracks videos. So this is a video which is a part of our several videos. So if you haven't gone through the earlier ones, excuse me, please go through them. So we are talking about the non-engineering roles in a IT organization, and so we were talking about non-engineering roles in a IT organization. And today we're going to talk about project managers. So I've chosen a different pen color just to make things interesting a little bit. So project manager, as the name suggests, it manages projects. Manages projects. Now that's a broad term. So what really it involves is, in a software development life cycle, software gets developed and the process it goes through to get released to the end user is you have to, one of the important thing is that you have to develop the software within a certain within a certain time limit, with a certain amount of resources in terms of people or manpower, and to make the whole thing work. Let's say if you have a project which lasted for 6 months, and then a product at the end gets developed from all the way from, let's say, writing the specification by a product manager to going to the development, and who does the development, and then goes to the engineering, and then goes to QA, and then goes to release, and all this, it is a pretty complicated and detailed process which has it involves different set of tasks. It involves, goes to a lot of dependency. If somebody does this, then only he or she can do that. So a project manager's job is to make sure all these things are done in a very smooth way and within the time and budget. And so one of the standard jobs of project manager is that they use some sort of a tool or software like Microsoft Projects to really identify or list down what are the action items, when it gets done, and then really tracks it and follows it, and if somebody is falling behind, he brings it up and then has a way to fix that problem. So depending on the organization, again, project manager's role could be very important, or could be just just like a person who just does documentation in terms of where the project is. So I have seen both those scenarios, or both the sort of setups. So again, if it's not definitely a technical role, as I said, this is a non-engineering role. All these are non-engineering roles: project manager, program manager, product manager. Between these, I would say that program manager is a little bit technical. Product manager is more external facing, means you have to really write a lot of PRDs or PowerPoints to convince the upper management or people other than that that's the right product to build. Whereas project manager's role is a little bit defined. When everything is done, he just manages the project. So in that way, it's less skilled. It could be less paying, or has less career prospect than maybe the other two. So that's sort of the broad view of non-engineering roles. Between engineering and non-engineering, again, this is it depends on what you want to do, what type of persons, what type of jobs you would like to do. There are opportunities in both. I have seen engineering people moving to product managers, non-engineering roles. Sometimes I have seen non-engineering to move to engineering, but it doesn't happen that frequently. Meaning that because the assumption is that the programming, or this is always a difficult skill to pick up, but sometimes you can think non-engineering persons can, if he or she is very good, he may become a sort of a leadership role within the engineering organization. So meaning a leadership role which does not involve any programming knowledge. So he or she can be put to that. So again, there are opportunities everywhere. It depends on what you want to do, and how your skill set lies, what your qualification, what your qualified are. Some organizations again are a little bit flexible in terms of cross what is that called? Is called cross transfer, meaning you can move from one department to another department, and then you are given also some sort of a training to make sure that you would be efficient in the new department. So I have worked in different companies, in small and big. What I've seen, the basic thing which works is that no matter where you are, if you are good in what you do and you want to change your field or department or type of job, you would always be given the chance, because company, ultimately any company would like to retain people instead of just letting him go because he wants to do something else. So again, just sort of, that's pretty much everywhere, I guess, in life, is that if you really want to do something good or to really have a great career, no matter, always focus on what is your current task and excel that, and then think of how you can bring company's goals match with your personal goals. Because a lot of times when the conflict comes, you want to do you think you want to do something else, or maybe you think you are good at something else, but somehow your current job doesn't have it. So then but then if you just go and then tell the company, oh, I want to do that, and company may not need another position to that, for that company doesn't need another person for that position, or maybe company doesn't have that type of job. So either way, it's a typical conflict of persons versus company's goals. Now that can only be addressed in a situation where company appreciates your work, you have proven yourself, you have done hard work, and company really wants to retain you. And when that situation comes, company would always make it work for their good employees. So if there is no position, they will create position, or they will try to give you something else which sort of makes you happy, or makes you give an opportunity what you love to do. So I think you get the idea what is that. Now other few things to remember is in terms of qualifications. So now, as I said, non-engineering like product manager positions, sometimes they involve MBAs. Sometimes companies do need a person to have MBAs. So if you have an engineering degree and you are doing engineering work and you want to move to product management, then you may have to think of doing an MBA if your company has that policy. Or you can think of moving to other companies where they need non-MBAs also become product managers. So that's sort of the high level things, and I hope you got a good idea of what are the different roles. So in terms of career path, I think you got a good idea. From engineering, you can go to team lead to VP of engineering. From product manager, it could be a role of external facing, where you may have to go and visit a lot of clients or customers. So then you can also move from VP of products to maybe VP of customers or VP of sales. So product manager at a high level becomes very external facing roles, and so is the program manager. So that's sort of the different types of jobs. I think you got a good idea. The next video I'm going to talk about different types of technologies. So the other one last thing I would like to mention is that this product manager, if you really want to be a good product manager, one thing is critical, is to have good domain knowledge. So for example, in engineering, let's say if you want to be a good Java engineer, you have to know Java, or you have to know C++ if you want to become a good C++ engineer. But the product manager also, if you want to be a good product manager, you have, and this is a little bit more domain specific, means if you are really a good product manager in, let's say, in ERP area, ERP meaning enterprise resource planning, so that means softwares like SAP, Oracle, manufacturing, then you have to know that that domain, or that what are the features of a typical ERP product, how the company's accounting or inventory runs. So you have to know those things, just like the way C++ engineer has to know how the memory allocation or how the garbage collection happens. In the same way, in the product manager, if you want to, you have become, if you're really expert in your field, it could be ERP, it could be consumer internet, it could be social networking, it could be e-commerce. If you know it very well, then you can really good. Now, having said that, you can become you can become a general product manager who sort of he has worked in different fields in different types of domains, and that's also good. But always remember, people always value the skills which is a very specific in which you have great depth, and then and then if they have exact requirement, then you can become great value for the company. So again, these are sort of broad level goals. So I hope that oops, I got an error here. Get a good idea. Thank you. So in the next video we will talk about different types of technology. Different types of technologies. Thank you.